Hey, it's me, the Crafty Notary, and I just wanted to pop in before you see this video to let you know that me, the Crafty Notary, Melissa Battle from Notarizing Tampa, and Amy Aglio from Ladybug Mobile Notary Services will be having a Notaries at Night conference and networking on April the 15th. It's a Saturday. It's going to be in Tampa. Now, the location, I can't tell you. You got to buy a ticket in order to get the location. But there will be surprise guests there. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be in the evening. So I would love to see any of you show up and come there and meet me, the Crafty Notary. Some of y'all have been saying you want to meet me. So here is your opportunity. There won't be many, but here is the opportunity for you. Right now, we're in the early bird stage of things. So you can get your ticket at a discounted price. So make sure that you do that. I will drop the link below so that you can go ahead and get your ticket now before everything sells out, because there's limited seating only. All right. And I hope to see you there. And now we're on to the video. Hello, YouTube. It is Ayana, aka the Crafty Notary, back with another video for you, another driving video. This morning I am not on the way to the office. I'm actually on my way to an appointment that I have for my house that's under contract, home that's under contract. So for those who don't know, I've been a real estate broker now for, let me change this, for a few years, several years. I don't want to do the math, but since 2016, I have been a real estate broker. It's just something that I've never used, and I tend to only use it for family or friends. And in this case, it is a friend who is looking to purchase a home, and so that's what we got today. And I got some other appointments that are a lot heavier this afternoon. So, anywho, what am I here for? I'm here to talk about your business. And there are still tons of people getting into this business, brand new, fresh off the block still. And I am not deterring that. I have no hate, no shade to you joining the notary business. But let me warn you that the messages you see from people who may be out here saying you can earn $200 an hour, you can earn $100,000 a year, all of those things, it is a lot harder to do in 2023 than it was to do in 2020, okay? When COVID hit and we could no longer go outside, remote online notarization exploded, as well as mobile notary exploded, because the mobile notaries were on the front line to go into these homes and risk COVID in order to get these loans signed, okay? And so they were doing 10, 11 signings a day. Long gone are 10 and 11 signings a day. So I'm not saying that you can't make that kind of money. You absolutely can, and more. It depends on a few factors. Number one, it definitely depends on location. Okay? So if you live in a rural area, it may be a lot harder. If you live in California, it will be a lot easier. Because for one thing, in California, the home prices are a lot higher, and a lot of people are still selling in California and moving to other places in the country in order to experience a cheaper way of life. So those notarizations probably pay a little bit more than what they pay in the rest of the country. Now, with that said, there's a lot of real estate activity still going on in Florida. people are still flocking here in droves, and there are people still selling their homes. However, these signings don't pay as much as what they pay in a place like California. So you have to get on your grind and do more. Now, I don't like to use the word grind. That's not the word that I want to use. But you have to be about your business and market yourself to more companies outside of signing services. If you're going to wait for a signing service, you won't achieve that six-figure salary. I'm just being frank. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and market to these companies. Now, I feel some kind of way about marketing with candy and cakes and treats and things like that. But I will say, do what is comfortable for you. Because it's not comfortable for me doesn't mean it's not comfortable for you. And I would say market by any means. And speaking of that, I just left all my crap at home because I wanted to market down here today. Dang it. So market by any means necessary, okay? And that's what you need to do in order to get there. So I'm still welcoming new notaries into the notary industry because there are a lot of notaries that are not working, right? Don't listen to the whole market is saturated stuff. There are a lot of notaries that are commissioned, but not all of those notaries are working. So the difference is, will you get commissioned and start working? Because I see a lot of notaries who get commissioned and never take a notarization. Or they're planning to plan. And you don't need all that planning. All you need to do is get your stamp and an ink pen, put yourself out there and start stamping. Loan documents are no different than any other document that you'll ever notarize. A document is a document is a document. Okay? So if your neighbor has a divorce paper that they need notarized, get your butt over there and notarize that divorce paper. Just because you've never seen it before, if you never notarized it before, doesn't mean you can't notarize it. The same notary block that's on a loan document is the same notary block on any other document, okay? So stop all this madness with, I'm only doing loan signings, I'm not doing general notary work. Loan signing is general notary work. It's all notary work, okay? It's just not to the public. It's business to business instead of you doing it to the public. But you best believe that the public also gets loan signing documents that they need a notary for, that title companies just give to them and say, find a notary. So there are loan signing documents out in the public that exist. You just have to get out there and work. The next thing I want to say is, before you get out here and put yourself out here and start stamping, you need to make sure you have your business set up properly. I made a whole video on this before, okay? You need to make sure your business is set up
reported ahead
properly.
On I-75 South.
And what I mean by that is not whether or not you're an LLC or an S Corp. You can be a sole proprietor for however much time you need to be, okay? But even if you are a sole proprietor, you need your own business account. I don't mean a personal account that you use for business. I mean you go to the bank and you ask for a business account, okay? Designated business account, not a personal account. And with the stuff that's happening in the news today with banks, here's one more reason why you need a business account. Because the FDIC insures your money up to $250,000 per account owner and per account type. So if you got your money in a personal account, checking account, that money is all lumped together. And if you should forbid, heaven forbid, max out at $250 and you have more than that in your business account, you're going to be screwed. So you need a business account. Now it's protected by itself up to $250. Now, I will go out on a limb to say you need more than one business account, because it is good to have one business account for your operating expenses, one business account for your money that is profit that you're going to pay yourself, and one business account to pay your taxes. Now, the business account to pay yourself in the middle, that's optional, but you need at least two. One that's operating and one that's taxes, because you need to put your tax money to the side. And not only do you need to put the money that you're going to pay to the IRS aside, you need to put aside the money that it costs for you to file the tax return. Business tax returns are on average about $500, okay? That's if you file a separate business return. But if you're filing a business return as a sole proprietor with your personal return, it's on average $500. And it's a business expense. It can be written off. So you need to have those accounts, okay? And again, let me say this again. It's not a personal checking account that you're not using that you're going to use for business. No, it needs to be a business account. As a sole proprietor, you can get an EIN. If you decide to incorporate into an LLC, single member LLC, you can get an EIN, okay? If you need help with those things, schedule a coaching session with me and I can help you go where you need to go in order to set this up. You don't have to pay an attorney. You don't have to pay Rocket Lawyer. You don't have to pay any of these companies to set this up. You're totally capable of doing this yourself. Let's get on the line and talk about it, okay? Get to my website at yanalugo.com and schedule a coaching session and we'll talk about it. The next thing you need for your business is a payment processor. What do you mean by payment processor? You need a payment processor to process credit cards and debit cards. Very rarely do people deal in cash these days. I don't deal in cash at all. So you need a payment processor. Now, to each its own, but I'll tell you, I do not use Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle to do business. Let me repeat. I, the Crafty Notary, do not use PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle to conduct business. Why? Because those methods of payment or cash transfer protect the person who transferred it to you and not the owner, especially PayPal. Zelle, if you should happen to Zelle, or if they Zelle to the wrong person, they can't get their money back. Once that person accepts that money, they can't get that money back. And the same with Cash App and Venmo. They'll be hard pressed to get their money back, and I doubt they're going to pay twice. So you won't get paid. Okay? I would stay away from those types of payment methods. By all means, I would stay away from them. They do not protect you as the business owner. And it's easy to do it. It's easy to use them. And I'm not saying they can't be used on a one-off situation. If you're doing a notarization for a friend or a family member, maybe. Okay, maybe. But you need a payment processor. The fees that you pay to Stripe is what I use, is Stripe. To Square, that's another one. And the the suite that I use for accounting and all of my business is called Zoho, Z-O-H-O. I pay $90 a month. I get accounting, I get email campaigning, I get a website, I get e-signing, I get a whole bunch of things for $90. And one of those things is also payment processing. And yes, you pay 2.3% plus a 20 cents or whatever it is, but that's a tax write-off. Those are tax write-offs. That is the cost of doing business. When you go to the grocery store and swipe your card, they're paying those same fees. Some gas stations make you pay that fee. You can make your client pay that fee if you so choose. I don't personally do that. I pay the fee myself. Okay? But you need a payment processor. There are people out here that won't work with you because you don't take the proper payment. Everybody don't use Zelle and Venmo and all of that stuff, Cash App. And I'll tell you, businesses don't use it. Attorney offices, title companies, they don't use that. Stop getting out of this get out of this mindset that you need your money today. You're doing business. You'll get your money today in most cases when you're working direct for companies. Oftentimes you'll drop off the files, they'll hand you a check. Or I work for a title company, the check's in the mail the same week that I get the signing done. And I have the check within a couple of days. But most companies will only deal by check. Okay? And there's a lot of people that still deal in cash. There are. I don't. But there are people. There are times that I collect cash. Especially for older people. I'll end up with cash. Now, I don't accept personal checks. I will tell you that. I do accept business checks. I do not accept personal checks. So my methods of payment are cash, credit, and debit only. Okay? Get your business set up properly. And even if you are using Cash App and Venmo and Zelle, if your business account allows Zelle, because from what I understand, business accounts don't allow Zelle. Some banks do. I think mine does not. I'm with Navy Federal. Mine does not for a business account. Personal account, yes. Business account, no. And if you do use those, that's fine. But make sure you have a payment processor as well, like Stripe, Square, and some of the other ones. You don't need a machine. You don't need a little thing you plug into your phone. You can type the credit card or scan it right there while you're standing there with the client. Okay? And if you have Stripe, there's another app called Facile Pay, F-A-C-I-L Pay, that will also allow you to scan the credit card or type in the credit card numbers right there. Right there on the spot. Okay? Make sure your business is set up properly. Make sure you have business cards. Because sometimes people will ask. I have a digital business card that I can offer to people as well. But make sure you have some type of physical marketing so that when you're out, you can give that to people. Okay? Make sure when you are having your information out there that you're answering the dang phone. When your business phone rings, you should be answering it. And you should be answering it professionally. Now, if you can't figure out how to differentiate your business calls from your personal calls, get another phone. Get a cheap one. Get a prepaid phone. They're cheap. Right? But you can use Google Voice. There's other apps that allow you to take business calls and separate them from your personal calls. Some phone companies like T-Mobile will even give you another line to your personal phone. So now you have two lines to one phone. Do whatever it needs to be done, but make sure you're answering that phone. And when you're answering, make sure you're answering professionally. When I answer, my answering is hello, or I'll say, hi, this is the Crafty Notary, Ayana speaking, right? Because if I just say Ayana speaking, they'll say, is this Crafty Notary? So I say, hello, the Crafty Notary, this is Ayana speaking. Okay? those are things that you're going to need in order to be successful, right? And I'm not saying you can't get to the 100 grand. You absolutely can. It depends on how much work you put in and how good your business is, how good your customer service is. Because if that's trash and you talk to people crazy and you're telling title companies, I'm not doing that for less than, and you're not going out of your way to help them help their clients, you won't get there. Interview the top people and they'll tell you what they're doing. Okay? So that's my video for the day. You guys be good out there. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.